So what's up, you guys? It's your girl Sasha Green on this Wisdom Wednesday. There's my husband Benaya. Say hi.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're going on our little walk for today. Don't have much to talk about. Like I said, I'm cutting it close to like some of my last videos because I'm going to be focusing in on my college. I already got my schedule back for medical assistant. I'm like 7 classes away, which is basically one semester if you merge it all together from graduating with my medical assistant. I got to learn venipunctures and intravenous shots, which basically means you draw blood and give vaccinations. And my goal is to be able to do that to the children over in Africa so that they can basically fight against unwanted diseases and be nourished back to health with milk and things like that, nourishment for their bodies. But that's my goal, is to eventually go on a mission trip to Africa. I am Zimbabwe, Ethiopian, Nigerian, Irish, and a couple other ethnicities, according to my ancestry DNA test that I took a couple years ago. So I'm very passionate about helping African orphanages, but I don't like when people try to scam me for money. So that's where I'm at with that. And then I was talking about on my social media page that I grew up with Cody Cornice. He's the one who sings that song Firm Foundation and a couple other pretty cool songs that I like in the Christian community, and he linked up with Maverick City to make the video or whatever, so I thought that was pretty cool. But he went to school with me. You guys, we have 35 mutual friends on Facebook, and we also went to school with Ryan Tannehill. He's a quarterback isn't Ryan Tannehill a quarterback for what team? Tennessee Titans, yeah. So I actually went to school with those kids because I went to a very preppy school out in West Texas in the country. We basically lived 30 minutes away from George Bush, and Ryan Tannehill and Cody Cornice went to the same school as me. There was only a handful of black people in the town that I lived in, that I was raised in, and you can count probably on one hand how many people went to our school. So that's just the type of environment that I grew up in, and now my kids are living in the suburbs of Dallas in a $500,000 home. So that's just how I grew up. I was born in the hood or whatever, but I was raised in the country of Texas. So I'm not from Texas. I'm actually from Mississippi, but I enjoy Texas, and I wouldn't have it any other way because a lot of my opportunities came from me living in Texas. So that's just something I wanted to share. And then another thing I wanted to talk about is like how we've been feeding these cats, and they think that we're their new pet owners or whatever. They think that they're our new pets because they've been coming to our house, and we set some cat food and some water out, and now the cat brought like 2 of her kittens over, and they just kind of dined out on our porch. So they think that they're our new pets. But my goal is, like I said, I want to get me like a small puppy dog. I used to have like 3 dogs and a cat when I lived in that western country town, and my goal is to get at least one more puppy dog for my kids. But my boy might be afraid of dogs, so he really wants a cat. So that's the reason why I kept feeding the cats, so it can be like a pet vibe, even though they're not our real pets, they're just stray animals. But I'd like to do that. I'm looking for like a Yorkie or like a poodle, something small and manageable, easy to feed. And then the other thing is that I want to get a fish with some fish tanks, and I already picked out my fish tank on Amazon for the type of fish. I'm going to go to the pet store and get me a few fishes to put in my fish tank. So that's just a few things that I want to do at our new house. But aside from all that, the Bible does say that the righteous, the word of the Lord, the name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run to it and kept safe. I had a dream the other day that evil, wicked man was pursuing me and trying to kill me, and I ran into an old apartment, a random old apartment that I used to live in, and I was kept safe from the wicked man that was trying to kill me. I went in, I ran in really quick because it was a apartment that I used to pray and read my Bible. And once I got in, I locked the door behind me and called the police. But immediately, as soon as I got inside of the house or apartment, I felt much safer. So that next morning I posted, you know, the name of the Lord is a strong tower and the righteous run to it and kept safe, because that's the scripture God gave to me. And the interpretation of the dream is that we might have anxieties and fearfulness in our waking life. And that could be part of the reason why we have dreams like that. But I've had dreams like that since I was a teenager. I always had dreams of a wicked person trying to pursue me and I'm running. And a lot of the times in my dreams, what would happen is they would catch up to me. But in this particular dream, they weren't able to catch up to me. And then I had another dream where I ran over my niece with my car. I didn't do it on purpose. She was walking in front of my car and I pressed the brakes, but the car wouldn't slow down. It only moved faster. So I ran her over, but she survived with only scratches, and I wanted to take her to the emergency room, but my brakes, I couldn't do it in that car because I knew that my brakes weren't working that well. So I wanted to call the ambulance to come and pick her up. So those are just the type of dreams that go on in my mind when I'm asleep. So I had 2 bad dreams back to back, like 2 nights in a row. But I don't always have bad dreams. Like before we got our house, God gave me a dream of a house fern, which is a type of bird that symbolizes that you're going to be moving into a house. And before you know it, and I posted about it, and like a month later, we were moved into our new house. But it's crazy how God sent me that dream first, and I posted about it, and I like kept record of it. And then right after that, I manifested our 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. So I think that's pretty cool. But the goal is to get into a house kind of like this. You see this house right here, 2-story. I want something similar to that, and I want to have a Jeep in my yard. You know, it's maybe a 2-car garage with a Jeep parked and a fireplace with a swimming pool. And I can always add my own swimming pool. And fireplaces, they're easy to have. I had an apartment with a fireplace. It's not something that's not manageable. And if we were living in Oklahoma today, I would already have that, because the cost of living in Oklahoma is different from the cost of living in Dallas, Texas. And I've seen where in Broken Arrows, Oklahoma, that with the amount of money that I'm already getting, I could be living in a 2-story house with a 2-car garage and fireplace. It's not something that's not obtainable. And so that just gives me hope. And God is always showing me, you know, lands and properties that I'm capable of having in my future. And then there's also this thing called tiny houses in Dallas, where you can get a tiny house from $700 to $1,100, one-time payment of that, and then you pay monthly to rent to own it, and it's yours. You don't have to do a credit check. You don't have to go through any obstacles to get something like that. It's just a tiny home, you know, cabin type of home, and you pay a one-time payment, and it's yours. You know, of course, you might have to look into the property. You have to buy some land maybe to put the house on, you know, like a small piece of land, and then just pay tiny houses to put the house on your land. And then after a few months, a few years, it'll be yours and you'll never have to pay rent again. But I talk about that a lot because there's options for people who might be struggling, who are homeless. And I'm a strong believer in being a minimalist. So that's the reason why I share that information. But that's all I have for you guys right now. Until next time, stay blessed and stay beautiful. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Bye guys.